Job lived in Uz, a land of wide plains and gentle hills, where the sun rose with golden light and the rivers whispered softly over stones worn smooth by time. He was a man of great wealth and influence, but wealth alone did not define him. He was known for his integrity, his kindness, and the way he treated every living being with respect. His family loved him dearly, his children laughed freely around him, and his wife stood by him in both joy and sorrow. Job's home was a place of warmth, laughter, and love. But his true treasure was his character, a steadfast faith that guided every choice he made. He cared for the poor, offered justice to the oppressed, and maintained honesty in all his dealings. People admired him not for his wealth, but for the goodness that shone through his life. Yet life, as it often does, would test Job in ways that no one could anticipate. Far above the earth, in the heavenly realms, God spoke with his angels, praising Job for his faithfulness. Satan, the accuser, appeared and questioned the genuineness of Job's devotion. "Does Job serve you for nothing?" Satan asked. "Take away all he has, strike his health, and he will surely curse you." God, in his wisdom, allowed the test, setting only one limit. Job's life itself could not be taken. The first messenger arrived at Job's home, eyes wide with fear. "My lord," he said, "the Chaldeans attacked your oxen and donkeys and carried them off." Job's chest tightened with grief, but he bowed his head and whispered, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." Before he could gather his thoughts, another messenger ran up, panic etched on his face. Fires from heaven fell and consumed the sheep and servants. Job closed his eyes, feeling a storm of grief inside him. Yet still he said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." A third messenger arrived, breathless. The Chaldeans took the camels. Job's heart felt as if it were being pierced, yet his words remained steady. "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." Then a fourth messenger staggered in. A mighty wind struck the house. "Your children, they are gone." Job fell to the ground, his heart shattering. He wept deeply, mourning each child as if the world itself had ended. Yet even in this abyss of grief, he whispered, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." The tragedies did not end there. Soon, Job was struck by a painful disease. His body became covered with sores from head to toe. He sat among ashes, scratching his skin with broken pottery, feeling the sting of every lesion, every ache, every fever. He was alone in his suffering, yet his heart continued to hold on to his faith. Even his wife, seeing him in his misery, said, "Do you still hold on to your integrity? Curse God and die." Job, though exhausted and in pain, responded quietly, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Days passed in darkness and sorrow until Job's friends arrived, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. They came to comfort him, sitting silently with him for 7 days, acknowledging his grief. But when they began to speak, their words brought more pain than relief. They told Job he must have sinned to deserve such suffering. "Surely you have done something wrong," Eliphaz said. "The innocent are not afflicted like this." Bildad added, "God does not punish the righteous without reason." Zophar insisted, "Confess your sin, and perhaps your life will be restored." Job, weary and wounded, spoke in return, his voice heavy with pain, "I am innocent. Why am I suffering? Why must the righteous endure such trials while the wicked prosper?" He poured out his heart in raw lament, expressing the emptiness, despair, and confusion that so often accompany human suffering. He asked questions that every human soul has asked. Why was I born to face this? Why must my life be filled with such misery? He did not turn away from God, yet he could not understand the purpose behind his pain. If only I could plead my case before him, if only I could be heard, he thought, then maybe I would find peace. Nights were long, filled with silent tears, while his body ached and his mind wrestled with questions that seemed impossible to answer. Yet, amidst all the sorrow, Job held on. He continued to speak to God, wrestling honestly, reflecting deeply, acknowledging his smallness in the vastness of life. He expressed anger, sorrow, fear, and hope all at once, showing the complexity of the human heart when faced with suffering. Then God spoke not in words of accusation, but in a majestic reminder of the vastness of creation. "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth, who marked off its dimensions? Have you commanded the morning, or shown the dawn its place?" God's voice reminded Job of the grandeur of life and the mysteries that humans cannot control or fully understand. Job realized his perspective was limited, and humility filled his heart. "I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted," Job said, bowing before God's wisdom. His faith, though tested, had endured. His humility, forged in suffering, had grown. And then God restored Job's fortunes. His wealth multiplied, his family was renewed, and his life became even fuller than before. He lived long enough to see his children and grandchildren grow, experiencing joy and purpose once more. Job's story became a testament to resilience, faith, and the human capacity to endure suffering while maintaining hope. Through Job, we see the reflection of our own struggles. We all face losses, pain, and questions that seem unanswerable. Yet Job's journey reminds us that even in despair, faith, integrity, and patience can carry us through. Life may bring suffering, but restoration, understanding, and peace are possible. Job's story whispers to every human heart: grieve, question, lament, but never lose hope, because even in the darkest valleys, there is the possibility of light and renewal.